Hey everyone, my name is Wilson. This is the WilsonThaoShow. I'm here with the prestigious or amazing Chong Vang. Man, I saw your name on Facebook. How did you come up with that name, first of all? Because I was gonna try to say it, but I know it's a tongue twister for me.
So the first part is Rahul.
Rahul. Yeah.
Rahul, like I'm a big Bollywood fan.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Shah Rukh Khan fan, and like most of the movies that I watched growing up, Shah Rukh Khan, his character is always named Rahul.
So that's where it comes.
So that's where it comes from, you know.
Okay, and then the second part.
The middle part is just. Yeah, right. Whenever I was changing my Facebook name during that time, I was listening to the music. I was listening to that song, and I was like, man, like I want to change it to like a name that sort of resembles like what that thing or that Hmong. And I was like, you know how they always have those types of names, you know? So
right.
Man, like what am I gonna pick? And then I was listening to that song at the time. I was like, man, I'm just gonna put this, you know. And so I just put that in, like, and then that was it. That was my name. And then like it just kind of stuck. It just kind of stuck with me on social media, and then I just never ever had a second thought of changing it back to
I mean, even now, there's no second thought.
There's no second thought. It's like, dude, like, even when I travel now, like, a lot more people recognize me by Rahul than they do by my actual name, you know?
No way. Yeah. That's hilarious. But yeah, anyways, my guest today is Chong Vang. He's an aspiring actor, correct? You're pursuing your master's degree as well. You're very well established already, but he's been a part of multiple events and multiple music videos even too. So that's why I kind of want to dive into today, you know. And so one of the most recent or more recent music videos that you were a part of was with Adita.
Yeah.
Tell me about that one, because it's a meme now, pretty much. You kicked her in the stomach.
Yeah.
In the beginning phase, how did you get word, or did she reach out to you, or you reached out to her like, hey, I want to be a part of your music video? How did that go about, man?
Yeah, I mean, like we've always been like mutual friends through the Hmong entertainment industry. So I know that she had wanted to shoot this a while back. I think she reached out to me back in, I want to say, March or April.
Yeah, of this year.
Yeah, and we were supposed to shoot it in June or July, but something had happened and like some things came up, so we had to postpone it till to September. But aside from that, like she had always planned to do this, and I know a lot of people were saying that like it was a very long music video. Okay. But that was her whole plan. Like she was the mastermind behind all of it.
Producer,
and,
the whole thing.
It worked out perfectly well. Like, and a lot of things in there that we did, like, it was all improv. It was like on the spot. Yeah. Like we knew what the storyline was, and we knew where point A was and where point B was gonna be. You know, we knew where to get from point A to point B. It was just how we were gonna get there, and we just kind of improv everything along the way. But it was super fun. So she did reach out to me to help me out, and I did. I did get sponsorship from Cloud9.
Yeah,
and also from Elson Lore State Farm. Yeah, from here in North Carolina.
To fly out that way.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so because Dee didn't have all this funds there and like all the sponsorship to help her in to help me out too. So luckily enough, I was able to get Cloud9 Vape and Elson Lore State Farm to help sponsor me to fly me out there for that project.
Yeah. So does that mean part of their funding helped her music video too?
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing some of their banners in the music video. I'm like, wow, no way! I didn't know NC was that well known. You know, at least the Cloud9 and Ellison Lore. But that makes sense now. So I remember seeing their little ad banner.
So we're very grateful for that too, man. We're very grateful that, like, especially a lot of these NC business guys, they're looking to reach out and like looking to help people like me, you know, like get out there into the entertainment industry with all the other artists.
Of course. So another question, you know, among the many that we're gonna have.
Yeah.
How did you start to, or how did you decide you wanted to go into acting? Because was that always a thing that you wanted to do, like in the back of your head?
Like I did theater in college.
Okay.
Like in undergrad, I did theater. So I did theater. I did community theater stuff. So I did play in like some musicals like Shrek and stuff like that while I was in college. And I really did like theater, and I really did want to be a part of the entertainment industry. But like growing up in North Carolina, like all I ever knew growing up was my parents was like, go to school, get a job. Go to school, get a job. So like I was always very like skeptical about like going outside of that norm and chasing after something that I knew wasn't going to be a guarantee. And I knew that I knew that once I told my parents I was gonna pursue that kind of thing, they would be like, you shouldn't do it because it's not gonna be a guarantee. Just stick to whatever we told you growing up and just do that and just go to school, find a job, and do whatever. But I think what really pushed me in that direction was just all the people that supported me, man.
Oh yeah.
Really, all the support that I had behind me. Like I remember I had a conversation with 2 of my friends up in Minnesota. This was right before I started acting, and like I had a conversation. I was like, man, like I really love this acting stuff. I really love like modeling and stuff like that, but I'm scared to do it, you know.
Okay.
And like they're from Minnesota. They see Hmong people go out there and model and act, and
so it's normal to them.
Yeah, it's normal to them, right? So they're like, why don't you just do it? I'm like, dude, like, cause like, but I was very skeptical about doing it because in North Carolina, you know, like the industry is not that big, especially for small people, you know.
No one does.
But they just kept pushing me that way, and then had my first photo shoot in Minnesota, and then my friends took my photos from that photo shoot, posted me on Hmong Tinder. You know, so sponsorship on Hmong Tinder too, you know. But, but like, it was like they posted me on Hmong Tinder, and then I just felt like it just blew up. It just blew up. Like people just started like adding me and like.
Meaning people like you were on Hmong Tinder and they were like swiping right. They were like, oh
so,
yeah.
I was meeting all these random people that I never met before.
Right.
And people were just reaching out to me and all that stuff, and they were like, man, you should go be an actor, you should go model and all that stuff. And I was like, man, like, should I do it, should I not? And then like that's when I first landed my first gig with MK Family Film, you know. Yeah. And I did the music video for Christina's song.
Right.
And after I did my first music video, that's where like my acting took off too.
You were hooked.
Yeah. So it was like boom, my first photo shoot, boom, modeling, and then my first music video for Christina's song, you know, boom, my acting took off, and it just kind of like snowballed that. I mean, there was times where it kind of like dipped down and it was like a slow time, but then there was times where it was like super busy and super hype, and I was
like you're drowning in the work, right?
Yeah, and I was just like drowning in my work. I was traveling like every other weekend, you know, like I was out of state for like all of last year. I was probably in town like only half the weekends.
Really?
Yeah, most of the weekends, every other weekend I was out of state.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean that's part of the life. I think anyone trying to pursue that life has to understand it. It's just part of it, right? Like
I always tell like other people who try to pursue the entertainment industry in North Carolina, like we're here to support you, but like the crowd here isn't as big, you know. So we can only do so much. You know, we can only do so much for the people that want to go pursue that type of industry, you know. But I always tell them like, you're more than welcome to reach out to people in Minnesota, reach out to people in California, and they're more than willing to help you.
Right.
But it's just that now you have to go out there, and you know, you're gonna have to go out there and pull dimes out of your pocket to go out there and really put yourself out there. But you know, we're always gonna support you back here.
Right. Like, you know, I would imagine at some point it's just one of those things where you think of, well, how much does it mean to you to be a part of that event, to be a part of this little thing that's going on, you know? Yeah. And like you said it perfectly. You just put every single dime into it because you want to be a part of that too, you know? Yeah. So that definitely talks a little bit about your work ethic and your passion too. You know, has there ever been a moment where you felt like super overwhelmed about a project or a role you were supposed to do, or maybe you were going to be an MC? I know you've been an MC a few times. Was there, if you could think back to all the different cool stuff that you've been a part of, was there ever a moment where you're like, damn, I think this is too big for me. I think I'm too nervous. Have you ever felt like that? I mean,
there's been times where, like, especially when I started working with like a lot of big artists, like especially when I started MCing for like the biggest shows, like my first big MC show was probably J4, you know.
Yeah.
I MC for the biggest concert in J4 during Hmong Minnesota J4, you know, and I was like, holy shit, you know, like.
Yeah.
But like, you know, at the same time, it's like I know what I have to offer, you know, and if the other person who like asked me to be a part of this gig, if he knows that, you know, like I have the potential to be here, then, you know, why am I going to sell myself short and be scared of going up there and just being myself?
That's right.
You know, so like, you know, we all know what we have to offer, but at the end of the day, it's like whenever someone gives you the opportunities, because they see where your potential is too, you know. So you can't be scared of like any of these little opportunities. Like, you know, like sometimes like if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. That's exactly what it is.
That's right.
If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So that's why that's one of the models I live by, you know. So
man, That's funny that you say that. Early on, I think it might have been like my freshman, sophomore year in college. I had that same mentality too. Yeah, exactly. If your dreams do not scare you, or your ambitions don't scare you, you're not dreaming big enough too. I remember specifically learning about that too. But so that was the first experience where you felt like it was too big, and has every moment after that been fairly easy for you?
Oh yeah, it has, man.
Okay.
It's like, I remember like whenever he asked me to do J4, I was just like, damn, man, this is a big show, man. Like, what if I need? Like, I might need a co-host, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And then he gave me a co-host. He gave me K's on from California, and I've known K for a long time.
Oh,
like,
really? Cool.
Through the entertainment industry, and like me and Kay, we click like that, you know, like she's my law,
bouncing off each other.
Yeah, she's my law, you know. In the actual, we call each other law, you know. She's my law, you know. So like, but like, the moment that I found out she was my co-host, I'm like, dude, like it was sort of like a relief, you know, like.
So it's not like you even asked for her, like they're just like, hey, by the way, this is your co-host. Damn, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so like, I was like, thank God. I was like, man, like now I know how to do it by myself, you know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, like honestly, like I feel bad about like I never really listened to Hmong music growing up, you know.
Hey, me too, dude.
So like, you know, like now that I'm a part of this industry, now it's like, man, like, and I have to go MC, and I have to go like introduce all these artists, like all these awesome people, you know, like I don't know how to introduce them, because like growing up I never really listened to music, you know. I listened to a lot of country music growing up, you know. So I know a lot about country music, but I don't really know much about Hmong music. So the past 2-3 years, man, like I really started to listen to Hmong music again. I started to learn how to appreciate Hmong music again, man.
No, I'm in the same boat. My wife is actually one of the ones who got me really into Hmong music. Man, I think it might have been maybe 2017, 2018, where David Yang was kind of really blowing up, and I was like, man, who's this David Yang kid? You know, I saw all the memes where people making fun of him doing like emo hairstyle, where they like comb over to the side, you know, and they were making fun of him and stuff like that. But I eventually checked it out. Man, he's one of the most legit artists out there.
He is, dude. He is like.
And so I feel like that's where I started to get back into Hmong music, like in early years, maybe middle school, high school, did a little bit of it, got out of it for a long time. I think so. After college, actually, I started getting back into it, and now I'm fully into it too. Not as much as you probably, because you're like bumping shoulders with these artists now, you know. So going back to those big moments like that, would you say that confidence or belief in yourself is necessary?
It's key, man. Like, it's key, because like if you don't believe in yourself, man, like people can see that. They're gonna see that you're scared.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I believe that.
Yeah, especially when you're on stage, and like, dude, like most of the time when you're on stage, the lights are so bright that you can't see the audience.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, you can't see the audience. So basically, they see you, but you can't see them. But
so like, do you think that helps you?
Oh yeah, it does. Because like now you're just. If you could just imagine it, like where you're like talking out to a crowd of nobody, like there's nobody out there, because you really can't see anybody out there, you know.
Was that what J4 was like?
Oh yeah, dude, it was bright out there, man.
But I would imagine the audio feedback, like you hearing them, probably
you can
trips you out a little bit.
Yeah, it does, man. But you just gotta know that, man. Like these people are here to support you, and they love you too, man. Like it's not like they're just there for the artists too, man. Like they a lot of times, like the people that show up in the audience, man, like they show a lot of love for everybody that gets up on that stage, man. Yeah. So like you just gotta take that love in, and you just gotta like humble yourself, and you just gotta go out there and just do it, man. Just be confident in yourself, be confident in whatever you can give, man.
Of course, I agree with that 100% too. Do you feel like there's any other additional traits that you had prior to going to that role that really helped you be successful? Like, do you feel like you're witty? You think fast on your feet? Do you feel like those are some other traits that helped you succeed in that role?
I don't think I'm witty, or like I don't think I'm not very fast on my feet either when it comes to thinking about things, but I can talk to people, you know. I'm very talkative. I get along with a lot of people easily, you know. I can
like a social butterfly.
Yeah, I'm very social, you know. So like, so if I see someone, like if I see a whole bunch of strangers in the crowd, like it's like I'm not afraid to reach out to them and like like have them hype me up or hype them up, you know. Like I'm not afraid to reach out to people and just like just talk to them, you know, and get comfortable with people. So everywhere I go, I'm pretty comfortable everywhere I go, man. Like my parents are also scared that like if I go places where I don't have relatives at, you know, I'm gonna be in some kind of trouble. I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna be that much trouble, man.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be welcomed anywhere you go.
Yeah,
so especially in the Hmong community, man.
Yeah, so I try to make myself very, like approachable, you know. So
yeah, okay, so that's probably one of those traits that you feel like helped you out in that role. Do you feel like that's what the person that was hosting J4, do you feel like that's what they were looking for? Like, is that what they saw in you, or
I feel like,
were you good friends?
Yeah. Well, I've never worked with him before. Like I've never worked with him before, and that was the first time I ever worked with him. But I have seen him around. You know, I've seen him with all the artists that he has worked with. So like, I know who he is as a person. He knows who I was as a person, but we just never directly worked with each other before. But ever since then, man, like I've worked with him probably 3-4 times already now. So yes, but it's always been a good experience. He's very professional about the way he does things, and he's probably one of the best to do it in our community. So
okay. So I mean, Hmong guy too, right? That's awesome. Would love to meet him someday too. But you know, aside from that, you know, there's a lot of, you know, like I said earlier, you're bumping a lot of shoulders with all cool artists, especially big name celebrities. Has there been a certain artist that you were just super starstruck by? Like, yo, I follow you, I mess with your music or whatever. Has there been a celebrity that you met and you were just like super starstruck, lost for words?
Yeah, I mean, like I directly remember, dude, like the first time that I was able to, like, you know, like be in the same place, hanging out with, like, you know, like Surprise and Channing and ZPX and like David Yang and all them, dude, like. I was like, damn, dude, like, I'm from North Carolina.
What am I doing?
Yeah, like, I'm from North Carolina. Like, we don't really have no, like, most celebrities over there. And I'm here just, like, kicking back with all these guys. Right? Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about sports, too. I feel like you're very well known in the sports community. And, like, multi-sports, too. I think we initially met through, like, some small basketball tournament in... I think it was Eastburg High School. You remember that? It was a basketball tournament hosted by Stephen Hain.
Yeah.
You remember that? Okay. So I think he was hosting that basketball tournament. I think that's where I first met you. And I mean, you play basketball, volleyball, soccer too, right?
Yeah. That's where I started.
You do golfing. Yeah. I mean, bowling too. I mean, it just seems like whatever sport you play, you're a freaking stud at it too. I mean, where does that come from? Did your parents play sports? Did they
do
any sports in high school?
No, I didn't do any sports in high school. Like, honestly, in high school, like, my parents were like, you either go to school and go to work, or you either go to school and come home. You know, like, my parents were never letting me play sports.
OG, huh? Just real straight.
They were just always scared of me getting hurt, so they were like, no, you can't play sports, you know. So I didn't start playing soccer until I went to college.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So I picked soccer as my first sport. Started playing soccer. Then played soccer for maybe like 2-3 years. Then I started playing volleyball. Then started picking up on basketball. And then picked up a little bit on football. Like, started playing flag football here and there.
Oh yeah, flag football too. Yeah.
And then, you know, eventually I hit 30, and then I was like, man, like, I can't really be playing these sports anymore. It's too much on me, you know. So like, so I picked up golf. But I've always bowled for quite some time. But I took a little bit of time off bowling. But other than that, man, like, I'm like a jack of all trades, master of none, you know. But like, I'm not super good at any of these sports, but I can play enough to look the part, you know.
So that's right. Yeah. I feel like, you know, honestly, I feel like that's how I am too. One thing I can't get into is golf. It's too technical for me. Like, you can swing as hard as you want, but if you just hit it off just a 1 or 2 degrees, it's gonna veer off to the right, to the left. I feel like I have no control of it. Obviously, there's a way to do it. That's why there's so many pros at it. But it's too technical. I can fake it, right? Hey man, putt. I'm a killer in putt though. If we go to like some mini golf, I'll tear up some mini golf, you know. But aside from mini golf, man, bowling, I'm, you know, average, probably like 120, 130. I don't even know if that's average. It's probably below average. You know. Out of all the sports that you've played, man, which one do you feel like more affinity towards? Which one do you like more?
Oh man!
If you had to choose no other sport in the rest of the world, you had to choose one sport.
I feel like if I had to choose one sport and play it for the rest of my life, dude, I would probably play golf, man.
Oh really?
I'd probably play golf because, like, golf is more of a game against yourself.
Okay.
It's never a game against anybody else unless you're playing a tournament, you know. But still, at the end of the day, like, it's always a game against yourself. Because like, you'll never hit the same shot twice. Yeah. And like, you can play the same course like 7 days a week, but every time you play, it's gonna be different.
Different outcome.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different outcome, and it's always a game against yourself, man. Because like, you're always trying to beat yourself, you know. Like, there's no point in like trying to compete against other people if you can't compete against yourself. You know, so
right.
It's always about competing against yourself. So I love that aspect of the game, and like you said, it's very technical. You know, it's very technical. Like you have to learn how to take into like aspect, like every condition around you. Like whether if it's wet, if it's dry, if it's hot, if it's cold. You know,
if it's on a hill or not.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, what kind of slope it's on. You know, and like you just have to really like learn how to like take in everything around you. I think that kind of like it kind of like helps with like, you know, just everyday life, you know. Like you learn how to like really observe your surroundings and just kind of take things in, you know, instead of just being like tunnel vision one way, you know.
Okay, yeah, no, I definitely see your point there too, you know. I guess you know, a lot of golfers, from what I've heard, is they like it because it's very relaxing. It's if it's by yourself, more so relaxing if you're trying to improve on your game. Yeah. But also, you know, you have groups of friends that will go out too, you know, and so I see a little bit.
That's the relaxed part, man.
Yeah,
but honestly, like
relaxing.
Honestly, golf is probably the most stressful game I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah.
Complete opposite?
Yeah.
Why is
because
that?
like, dude, like you'll hit bad shot after bad shot after bad shot.
Yeah.
And you'll just want to give up. And like out of like when you first start playing, you know, like out of like 20 hits, you'll get one good hit, and that one good hit will change your day. You know?
Okay.
You'll hit bad shot after bad shot after bad shot, and you'll just be like cursing the whole way through. And then like you hit one good shot, and you're like, heck yeah, you're like, that's what I came here for, you know? Like that's what I freaking came here for, you know?
Now how do I do it again?
Yeah, exactly. It's how do I do it again, you know? But like eventually you'll get better, you get more consistent, you know? But like golf is just very fun because it's like, it's very stressful, but sometimes very fun because like it gets you out there for a long time out of the day, man. Like usually a game will last you like 4 to 4.5 hours, you know?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so.
Man, that's
but if I had to pick a sport to play, man, I'd play golf for the rest of my life, man.
Yeah, I think honestly, obviously, you know, there's a lot of retired folks that play it too, and that's one of those things where it's not super taxing on your body too. I mean, if anything, the walking is. Yeah. But once you get down the mechanics of the swing, you know, it's just swing after swing now, you know. So I think that sounds like a realistic answer too. You know, like I think for me, if I were to choose, I mean, I love playing flag football. I've been playing flag football since I was like 14 years old. I actually played middle school football, 8th grade year, and then all the way through high school I played as well. So football is definitely my first love, but I think realistically, if I had to choose, man, I'd have to tone it down from football too. I mean, I pretty much retired at this point. I want to be able to make a comeback, but you know, just years and years of injuries. Kind of thank your parents in a sense where you didn't. They didn't let you play football. Man, I've had a ton of bad injuries too, like both knees, rolled my ankles, both of them multiple times on either side. Aside from that, you know, like the concussion side of it, like now the concussions are starting to come to light. But back in, you know, when I was playing, and even before my time when I was playing, before I even played, concussion was never a thing. Just like quit being a sissy, quit being a little girl, you know. Like man up and just, you know, get back out there and play again. That's how concussions were handled back then. And so I remember specifically in high school, there was like a tackling drill, and I think the coaches should have stopped me at that point too, but they didn't. But it was a tackling drill, and we came to we went straight up head to head, right, tackling. And you want to get your form right, but also they call it like Oklahoma drill. So like it's a test of your manhood. Are you going to take him down, or is he going to take you down, right? And so the guy in front of me was a ball carrier, and my job is to tackle him. I'm the defender. Well, he's like probably close to 250 pounds, and this is in high school. So, you know, real short guy. He's probably like 5'9" at the most, 5'7" probably. And he was like almost 250, and he was the ball carrier coming at me. And so you can imagine he's sprinting full speed at me, and I'm just like, all right, I'm standing here. I mean, I have a running start too, but not as much as he does. And so, sure enough, I lower my head, I get smacked, I black out instantly. The only thing I remember is I go to commit for the tackle, I lower my head, and then I wake up and everyone's around me in a circle. It's like the classic scene in the movie. Everyone's standing around you in a circle or oval, and they're just looking at you, and my eyes are all fuzzy, and I'm like, yep, instantly I knew concussion. And so I've had multiple ones since then too, and so man, I realized, I think it was a few years into college, I realized that, or maybe even before then, man, my memory is tough. Like I could barely remember the way to my grandmother's house, and she was like 20 miles from me. It was only 20 miles, you know, down towards Maiden, you know, so oh, like dang, I could really hardly remember that. I mean, people's names and stuff. So thankfully your parents didn't let you play some crazy sports like that. I love the sport so much, but I hesitate to wonder if I wonder if I would let my own kids play that sport. Would you let your kids play any sports growing up?
I mean, I think like if they play like no-contact sports, I'll be fine with it. But I know the repercussions of like playing contact sports because like I've almost lost an eye playing soccer. You know, like
really,
like the ball, like we were playing one day, and then like someone like shot the ball and it deflected off one of the guys beside me and it went straight to my left eye. My left eye was
like the ball hit your eye. Oh my god!
Like and then like it hit my eye perfectly, like to the point like my left eye was blurry for 3 days.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I couldn't
really?
see on my left eye for 3 days.
Oh my god!
And then finally went to doctors, got checked it out, and then now I have a permanent blind spot in my left eye. You know?
No way.
Yeah, and nobody even touched me. It's just the ball, you know.
Yeah.
But I think like man, like I think with any kind of physical contact sports, man, like you're always gonna risk injury, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like if my kids really want to play and they really have a passion for it, and like I can see that they're like like they're actually good at it. You know, I wouldn't mind, man. Like I was like, go ahead, do it. You know, it's your life. You know, at the end of the day, it's still your life. You know,
but don't be mediocre. You know, I feel like that's what I would tell my kids. Like, man, if you're gonna pursue something, do it for real.
Yeah,
I think that's one of those things. I feel like I wish I would have taken seriously growing up playing football. I was just out there because my buddies were out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't really trying to be good at the sport, especially freshman, sophomore year, you know. I think my junior year I started to try to take it seriously, but at that point it was already too late. They were phasing us out, and obviously other people took it serious, so they lost the starting position. But, you know, I feel like overall I would like for my kids to join sports because of the overall benefits of sports, right? Like, of course, the camaraderie, the social aspect of it. You know, you meet tons of new people.
You do,
it gets you out of your shell a little bit. You know, they put you in drills that you're just with random people you don't know. So you got to make some buddies, right? But not that, just the physical side of it, the health benefits of the sports too. You know, but in terms of specifically football, probably not. I mean, if I were to redo it again, I'd probably go basketball. Like if I was to play sports again in high school. Basketball is one of those things where like, and I'm sure you can appreciate it too. I know majority of the viewers or audience can understand this part. Maybe not so much the people who don't really play sports, but basketball. I see it on social media described before as poetry in motion. And when when you have good basketball IQ, court vision, and you're an absolute dog, like you knock down some shots and you have really good handles, man, it just makes basketball so much more fun. And like
it does.
Team chemistry too, you know. It almost becomes like next level stuff. Like, you know, like in college, I really played it for real in college. You know, just like intramural stuff, right? And when you have a team that has good chemistry and synchronicity, when you're playing against people who are just out there to run a quick 5v5. Man, that team chemistry, it makes it really feel like, yo, this is the best sport out there, you know? Like you're doing behind the back passes, no look pass, you're looking one way, passing the other. Man, it becomes one of the best sports out there too.
It's just like watching Golden State play, man. Like,
oh dude, yes. Yes, you look at their ball movement and like even when they don't have the ball, I think that's what they call off-ball movement. Their off-ball movement, they set up for other plays to happen, and then they're kicking the ball around, and the defense doesn't even know what's happening to them. You know,
it's just like back and forth, back and forth. The defense is just running in circles, man.
Yes, no, I agree. I agree, man. Golden State is one of the best coached teams out there right now under Steve Kerr too. So, man, tell me a little bit more about yourself. What are some of your hobbies aside from acting and hustling? I know you're pursuing your master's right now. What do you do with your little time that you have? You know.
With the little time that I have, man, I just take naps, man. Now,
I
just take naps now.
Trying to recover.
I really just try to lay low now and just like if anything else, I hang out with my buddies here in town. But other than that, like I work 2 part-time jobs, so like I'm at work from like 10 to 3, then from 3:30 to about 8:30 to 8. Okay. And after that, then like I do a little bit of homework and whatnot, but. Hopefully within the next 2 months I'll be done doing homework for the rest of my life. So I won't have to worry about doing homework anymore. I can just like go out there and actually do other stuff. But,
right. And what's your degree in? What's your
it's gonna be a master's in management.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really want to go into like HR stuff, like do HR human resource stuff, HR management stuff. But we'll see where that goes. I haven't really started looking for any kind of jobs yet, but I mean, like I've looked and I've kind of like looked around this area here, and there's plenty of jobs, you know, but I'm not too sure if it's something that I want, and if it's something that I want to be around here in this area, like after I get graduated. So, but other than that, man, like I really don't do much anymore, man, because like I just hurt my shoulder, so I can't play ball right now.
Yeah.
So I can't play ball right now. Don't have golf clubs, so I can't play golf right now. It's too cold right now to play. And I don't have the time to play golf right now because it takes about like 3.5 to 4.5 hours to go out there and play golf.
Yeah.
So you have to reserve that time just to play, and you had to reserve like maybe like an hour for travel, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't really have that time to go out there and really play anymore on that sense either. But most of the time now I just stay home and I just chill, man. Like
professional napper.
Yeah.
Professional napper now.
Yeah, I just stay home and I just chill, man. Like that's pretty much what I can do now. But I've been since it's been New Year's season, man. I've been traveling a lot too. So So this Friday I'm flying up to Milwaukee. You know. So,
are you?
Yeah, I'm emceeing for their one of their parts of their New Year's show. So yeah, I'll be up there this weekend and come back for a week and a half, and I'll be out there in Fresno. You know. So
yeah, that's right.
So I can't.
Is that the Sabari Fest?
No, it's gonna be Fresno New Year.
Oh yeah, okay. When's that fest at?
So
is that is that in spring?
What, Sabari Fest?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in March.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I believe it's in March. I'm pretty sure it's in March. Yeah.
Okay. And you already got plans to be out there too?
Yeah. So I already got plans to be out there. Like I bought my ticket like at the beginning of March when they first released this year, and that was before they even brought in all the Hmong artists.
Yeah. Wow.
I was just like, man, I'm gonna go, man. Like.
So you're not part of the actual show. You're just.
I'm just going
to experience.
Yeah, I'm just going to experience it.
Might as well, man.
Yeah, because like I know like once I bought my ticket, like they reach out to a lot of the Hmong to the Hmong like the Hmong community, like the Hmong people that work with the entertainment industry. Like we got four Hmong artists performing for the Sabadi Fest.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bunch of other Hmong people that are working with the actual host of the Sabadi Fest, and like working with that show, but. Prior to all that, I had already bought my tickets. So I was like, man, I was gonna go regardless. Like, even if even more people weren't involved with the actual show, I was still gonna go.
Yeah, get you man. I bet you know some people. Get you some VIP access, dog.
Get
you some VIP access. Resell your ticket.
Yeah, I know.
That's the way to do it, man. Have you taken advantage of your popularity somewhere to where like, but not intentionally? Just, they offered it. You know,
I'm scared to because like honestly like people think that I could just go in there and just get my way because people know who I am in the community, but man, like I always hold myself because I'm always like I'm just starting,
try to be humble, right?
Yeah, like because I know that for myself personally, like I'm just starting to get big in this in the Hmong community, and like not everybody knows me, and like some people might know me, some people might not.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like disrespect anybody by feeling like they should give me priority over
like
anybody
they
else,
feel obligated to give
like
you something.
nobody should be obligated to give me priority over anybody else.
Right.
Like I'll buy my tickets, I'll go and I'll support my artists, and I'll support everybody that's part of that show. Like, I don't have a problem with that.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I don't feel like I'm obligated to be given VIP treatment and that, like, especially if I'm not a performer,
Right.
If I'm gonna be emceeing or if I'm performing or anything like that, then like I'm already gonna be there at the show, But if I'm not and I'm just gonna go as a patron or attendee, man, of course, man, I'm gonna pay my bucks. I'm gonna support my artists. I'm gonna support my people, man.
Yeah, I think that's the way I try to look at it too. At least I think that's the right way to go about it, right? You try to stay humble and you do your due diligence and you pay your way in. Heck, if they offer you VIP, then I'm like, all right, cool, I appreciate it either way, right? But yeah, I mean that's definitely the right way to go. I think the other way is like you're just very egotistical, full of yourself, and like, man, come on, give me that one, man. I'm Chong Vang,
Yeah,
that's definitely it sounds a bit twisted, right there.
Yeah, like that's one thing that I don't want anybody to like do to me either. Like. Especially because they come to one of my shows and they're like, hey, I know him, like get me in. I'm like, like it's not like I'm a part of the show, but it's not my show.
Yeah, you ain't
and like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to feel like people can use me to get in, to get special treatment either, So like,
has it happened? Has people been like, hey Chong?
It's happened a lot of times.
Hey Chong, give me in, dog.
Yeah, it's happened a lot of times, but like the people who host those shows, like they give me enough leeway to like kind of work with certain people, but other than that, man, I don't want to cross those boundaries and cross those lines where like, you know, I feel like I'm constantly like bringing people back, you know, where they're not supposed to be at, you know. So that's I think that's one of like the hardest thing that I had to like, you know, like face, like becoming part of this entertainment industry. But other than that, man, I think like I wouldn't ever like feel like anybody's obligated to give me a certain type of treatment.
So some of your aspirations, you know, is to go into acting. What do you feel like there is a point where you're like, you know, I think I'm done pursuing it? Do you feel like, man, okay, at what point am I going to stop trying to pursue acting?
Yeah, I mean, like, man, like I've come across that exact point like so many times.
Oh, you have already?
Yeah, like especially this year, man, because like once I got done with school and everything, like once I knew that I'm getting closer to getting done with school.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, like, am I really gonna continue pursuing this acting thing? You know, like, I'm really gonna do it, like, and then like I go back and I look at all the hard work that I put into it, you know. And I'm like, man, like, I can still do it, man. Like Morgan Freeman didn't get his big cut until he was 48 years old.
Wow, really?
Yeah. He didn't get his big cut till he was 48 years old, and I'm still 31, man. I'm like, man, I still got 17 years, man. You know, like, I still got 17 years, you know. But at the same time, like, it has come across my mind where like I'm just like, man, like, I think I just need to like, you know, like buckle down, you know, just like find like a regular day job and just like, you know, like finish school and then just, you know, like live a normal American life, you know. But I'm like, man, and sometimes I come back to thinking about it. I'm like, man, this is the land of opportunity, man. Like I can chase my dreams and do that at the same time, you know. But I just have to be in the right environment to where those resources are readily available to me, you know. Like being here in North Carolina, I can always go to school, I can always find a job, and I can always, you know, live an American dream, you know, lifestyle. But I can't chase my dream, which is to become an actor or to become a model, because those kinds of opportunities just aren't prevalent in this area, you know.
Right.
So if I wanted to do that, like I'd have to go to somewhere like New York or like Atlanta, like which is the new Hollywood, you know, or I'd have to go to LA itself, you know. And that's why I'm like highly considering moving out whenever I get done with my school and stuff, because like I really want to be able to chase my dreams, you know. I really want to chase my dreams, but like I know that being here in North Carolina, I can't do that like as much as I would like to, because like now I'm always having to travel,
right?
You know? And just to travel, I'd have to make time to travel, and when I take time off work, you know, I'm not working, I'm not making no money, you know. So like I know I've done some auditionings in Raleigh. I've done some auditions in Atlanta. Atlanta's 4 hours away.
Wow.
Raleigh's about 4 hours away, you know, like 3.5 to 4 hours, depending on which part of Raleigh you go to, you know. So like, I'm always having to take like a whole day off just to go audition for like 30 minutes.
Oh really? Then, those auditions are 30 minutes?
Yeah, so like I'll go there, wait like probably 2-3 hours, audition for like 30 minutes, and then I'll get sent right back home. And I'll drive another 3.5 hours, 4 hours back home, you know. And then like, if I don't hear anything, then that's a lost cause, you know, like.
So so your commitment is you'll drive out that far. You could audition 30 minutes, come back and never hear back again. So that's your sign that you didn't get it. Holy crap! They don't ever tell you, hey, you didn't get the job.
Sometimes they do.
Okay.
Sometimes they do, but sometimes they just like if you get it, then they'll reach out to you. If you don't get it, then you just don't get it. You know.
Did you have a favorite experience through all of the things that you've done? What was the most, the one that stands out the most to you? Like you had the most fun doing it, and it was just a cool vibe the whole time, through and through.
Let's see here. I think like the best experience I had, like doing like through all this like entertainment industry stuff, like acting and stuff that with the movie industry. I think the coolest, you know, the best time I had was probably filming the music video with Tessie and K, with He Die K.
Okay.
I think that was like one of like my best works. Maybe it's because like it's partially a part due to like you know, I was working with some of the best in the industry too. K and He Die, they're wonderful artists. They're brilliant artists. They do brilliant work. Dita herself, she's a brilliant actress. You know, super bubbly, super easy to get along with. And then you're also working with Carrie, you know, Carrie Image, and she's like she's a phenomenal videographer, you know. Like if you're talking about like, you know, shooting like fantasy style stuff, man, like Carrie's like one of the best, man.
Right.
So I think like that overall experience, like working with them for that project, man, it was definitely one of the best projects I ever worked on, man. Yeah. And it was definitely one of the most fun too.
Like, would you even go as far as saying like the logistics of it, like everything planned out too? Like, was that side of it fairly clean as well?
Yeah, like everything was super clean. Like, cause we had planned this shoot for maybe like 3-4 months already.
Oh yeah.
So basically, all I had to do is get myself to California.
Right.
So once I got myself to California, dude, like the hotels, everything was booked already.
Sweet.
So all the spots where we were gonna shoot was already picked out.
Yeah.
So it was like bam. You know, just
one
like shoot. Yeah. So
how many days was that project?
We shot for 3 days, I believe.
Oh,
yeah, we shot for 3 days, I believe. Well, maybe not even 3 days. It's probably we just shot for probably 2 days, because we shot one day on one beach and then came back home, shot the home scene at our hotel room.
Yeah.
And then the next day we drove back out to the beach and shot different scenes at the beach, and then that was it. We just wrapped it up over there.
Wow.
So it was all smooth, man. It was all planned out very nicely. It was laid out very nicely. Everything was set up like exactly how we wanted it to shoot, and then like all we had to do is just go out there and do it, you know.
Yeah.
Like costume and everything was already there.
That sounds like a pretty cool deal then.
Everything's already picked out, you know. So we just had to change clothes for each scene, you know. But all the clothes were picked out for the scenes already. So we just like bam, just do it, you know.
Are they still shooting, or are they still doing projects?
Yeah, they're still doing a lot of projects. I think Carrie's actually working on a lot of short films now.
Oh really?
So they're releasing a short film right now with Alex and Michelle, and I forgot who the other actress was, but they're releasing a short film pretty soon. I think next month or something.
Oh yeah.
About one of the storylines that one of those girls wrote. So it should be pretty interesting. It should be pretty.
And what was that again? So the viewers and audience know it was the name of the company or what they.
Oh, it's Carrie Image.
Yes. Carrie Image. So they can go find her.
So you can either follow Carrie Image. Beautify Michelle, she's one of the actresses in there, and then Alex Palm, you know.
Okay.
Alex Palm, he's the actor in that short film too. So if you guys want to follow them, I know that they just shared it on their Facebook pages. So if you just want to follow them on there, then you'll definitely get notification when that short film releases. Okay. Should be really good though.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think it's still different or hard to accept that Hmong people are this involved in this creative.
Oh yeah, man.
I think it's good to see, but I was saying it's hard to accept because we never saw growing up. There was no Hmong media of any sort growing up, so it's still like a shock to me, you know, to see. But I think it's good for the upcoming generation because hopefully it fuels them too, you know. Along with that, you know, not seeing Hmong in the general media, do you remember where you were when Suni won gold medal? I think that was a very defining moment.
Where was I when Suni won gold medal? I might have been at work or something.
I was just at home, but
yeah, I might have been at work.
Remember how big or that shockwave was?
Oh, dude, it was huge, man. It was huge. Like it was like heard around the world, man. Like, like the instant Suni won, man, it was like the world knew who Hmong people were. You know? It's like the world literally knew who Hmong people were. Like if you I remember like the few days, like the day after, or like the few days after like Suni won. You know, if you went on Google, right, you just typed in who are, you know, like it would be like who are the Hmong people.
The first one that populated was Hmong people.
Who are the Hmong people? You know?
Yeah.
And dude, like it is
that's
crazy.
a good feeling. I know what you're talking about. I remember doing that and I saw that. I was like, yo, that's my people, dog. I was going all over work telling people, you know.
Yeah, like it was crazy, man. Like and to see someone be like win that kind of award on that kind of platform, like on a world platform like that, you know, and represent us by like stage. It's huge, you know, like it's huge, and like even though like, you know, Simu Lee, you know, he's not Hmong, you know, like just for him to be an Asian and be a superhero in the Marvel universe, you know, and be one of the first ones to become like that. To have his own movie, man, like that was a big old step for us for the Asian American people too, you know. So like, I follow all these Asian American actors and stuff, and like one of the dudes, Yosan, he's actually he's actually co-starring with Gerald Butler, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I met him on set down here, you know.
No
I
way.
met him on the set here in North Carolina. He's from LA, but
like auditioning.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was playing a part out here, but like I went there as a double, you know. I went there as a double, you know. So like I didn't have no real big part, but like I went there, met him. He told me he was from LA and stuff like that, and then for me to have met him and like have a full-on conversation with him, and to see that he's freaking co-starring with Gerald Butler, it's like what? It's like you know, like, it's crazy, man.
No, that's pretty cool. And is that the same guy that did 300?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So it's like to meet someone and like talk to them. They're just like a regular person like us, you know. And now they're co-starring with one of the biggest like movie stars out there. It's like what? It's like it's crazy, man. It's like it's crazy how big people can like, you know, just like how fast people can just move out there, man.
Right. Yeah. I like how you're describing some of those people, and going back to David Yang and them, and even that actor. We truly are just regular people, just with talents and gifts, right? And I believe that very deeply, because there was a conversation I had recently with somebody, and they were like, you know, they were considering doing a sales job too, but they feel like they don't have the social aspect. They're not like quick on their feet. They don't think they have the skills to help them succeed or survive in sales industry, right? Yeah. And so, but I was like, yeah, I mean that might be true, but neither did I. You know, I feel like it was something I had to develop. Yeah. Meaning, you know, the bigger picture is anybody that has a certain skill that you are jealous of, understand that you are very capable of having those same skills too. I feel like, you know, I often hear people say, you know, don't compare yourselves to others. But for me, I'm highly competitive, and I like to compare myself to what skills I have and what I don't have. And like people whose lives are much better than mine is, I think about that and I'm like, dang, how did they get there? And what do they have? You know, whether it be physical or skill-wise, ability-wise, what do they have that I should adopt in order to get to where they are, you know? Yeah. And so some people, although some people say, you know, you should never compare yourself to other people, I feel like, well, I like to do it because it gives me an idea of the potential. Yeah. Like, one thing that I thought to myself, you know, in Hmong terms is like, you know, like at the end of your life, what do you want to have accomplished, right? And I feel like in my ability, although I don't have a lot of skills or you know, accomplishments yet, I feel like at the end of my life, I want to be able to get to a certain tier or be a certain place in my life. And the only thing I think is like, okay, well, what skills do I need to adopt to get me there as soon as possible, you know? Is that something similar to what you feel? Is there certain skills you feel like you still need to develop to? Oh yeah, like I know, like I've been approached with a lot of sales jobs, you know, and I'm like, I can't sell anything to save my life, you know. Like, I can't sell anything, you know. But like, my thing is, so pretty much, you know, big shout out and big thanks for you for coming out. I know we didn't really get to finish our last thought because the camera battery died, but. Regardless, I'm super grateful for Chong coming out here and spending some time with me. Of course, man. Is this your first podcast experience? Like we're like physically on a podcast or a show of some sort?
Yeah, like I mean, like I've done a few with John, like I told you, but we've never really produced anything yet. So this is one of the first few that I've been a part of, man. But it's always been a very good experience, man. It's good to come on here and just be able to just talk about things, you know.
Yeah, I think the cool thing is podcasts and shows like this gets the other side of the artist or the individual out that most people don't see. Like I would love to have some of the local artists or even local business owners come out and talk a little bit more. That way, you know, maybe friends or fans of their work really get to see the other side of them too. You know, like the philosophical side, but. Hopefully, you know, despite this bad first experience, hopefully you get to come out for. Hopefully, you're interested in coming out for a second show.
Yeah, for sure, man. Just let me know.
All right, well, I appreciate you. You guys, make sure you guys like and follow, subscribe wherever this is going to be at YouTube or Facebook. But yeah, stay in tune for more future content. All right, there's going to be more great guests on the show. Thanks.
Yes.